All right. We have discovered the connection. Well, we have to overcome all of our ignorances and all of our not knowing how to do technologies. But I'm here
Yeah.
today with Kimberly,
Just an excuse.
who's a fellow hairstylist, and hairdressers are gonna save the world. That's what we're here today all about. No, I'm just kidding. No, Kimberly and I were
of course, girl. Yes.
What we're discussing here is that human connection. And of all people I know that whenever there's two or more gathered in his name together, he says that there I am in their midst. And so Kimberly and I have both worked on clients one-on-one. And we, of all people, we know that you get a lot of information, you get a lot of networking done when it's just one-on-one. So here we are, the hairdressers are going to save the world and tell you guys, no, I'm just kidding, what we need to know. It's called that human connection, two or more gathered. And he says that he's there in our midst. So I just wanted to start off by welcoming Kimberly back. And I'm back after being gone for a month and goofing off and just taking a chill pill and resting and recuperating after my little vacation with my family. But we want to discuss right here, what is it going to take for us to start to see some results? And what do we need to do? What are the tools that we need? And also the filtering process. We're going to have to filter out all the other things that are going to want to take our time so that we can get to our solution. So these are the three things that we are going to need to focus on. And I originally wanted to start this with bill paying. How do we pay our bills? But I don't know. I'm opening it up to the Holy Spirit to give us wisdom and revelation to know which direction we should go, because there's a lot of voices out there. There's a lot of opinions out there. There's a lot of things that are written down that are maybe not, in our understanding yet. So I just wanted to open up the floor for just, some girl talk conversation from stylist to stylist. Yeah. Let's talk about what is the number one thing that we need to focus on right now. Is the fact of the matter is that we don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. So if we want to seek, we will find. If we knock, the door will be open. If we ask, we will receive. These are the promises that we get from our Creator. Those are the three things we need to do. Knock on the door, seek and you will find, and ask and you shall receive, that your joy may be made full. So what do you think we should discuss today? Is there anything that you're picking up on with just a little bit of conversation that we should focus on?
Just trying to keep our energy up and our vibrations up and the good thoughts going through our head, and practicing on canceling out the negative that is trying to bombard our thoughts at this point. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's how you feel, but I feel like, it comes in waves. Mm-hmm. And you think, okay, I'm feeling better. Everything's feeling good. My energy is good. And then all of a sudden you have this other surge that comes and then just tries to destroy all the good thoughts that are trying to be manifested for us. And so just trying to keep that conscious control over what belongs to our Creator, that we were made by our Creator and not this man-made crap. And so we have to rise above the poisons that have been dumped on us and dumped on us and dumped on us. And so just learning how to cancel out that and keeping those thoughts away from your head.
I agree.
Instead of letting them take over,
And that's called a disciple, someone who's disciplined. You put the blinders on plug up the ears, you keep your blinders on, and you focus on what it is that you're going to do. That, I think, is when they call it intention, your intention. It's like when you make a prayer, you are focusing on your intention. And so right now we open up ourselves as believers in Yahuah, our creator, to ask Holy Spirit, come and fill us to overflowing right now. All the stuff that needs to be pushed out, take that out. Help us. We need your help. We need your guidance. Help us to focus on what it is that we need to discover today. So that's my prayer, that, I hope that you can agree with me on that. Let's choose to agree to take those extraneous things away, and let's focus on getting results done. So initially, when I had
and letting our Christ drive our vessels.
So initially, when I had texted everybody, I wanted to find out if anybody has had any success with learning about paying the bills or agreeing or accepting to, when they send us a bill in the all capitalized name. We have discovered some things. Maybe a lot of people who haven't been watching, we discovered that they capitalize on our name, and that's kind of a pun, but it's an intentional pun. They have used our names in all capitalized letters, and those corporations, it's because we have a corporatocracy going on here, they're able to somehow discharge or write off all of these bills per se. So we're discovering in our studies that there are ways of discharging the bills that we have, like the phone bill, your electricity, all those other things that have the name in all caps. So there's a lot of different groups out there. Some of them are using stamps. Some of them are just not answering back and then getting their credit dinged. Some are using 1099-A and C, which are IRS forms. But I'm not sure if I actually know many people that have actually been successful. I myself have tried those different methods with the stamps, with the I agree, I accept, and A for V and 1099-A and C. Some of them have gone away. Some of them I've been successful. So I guess I can say that some of it works. It's a possibility that, they might be doing it through a back end using the Social Security number and maybe getting paid that way. And then they just leave me alone because they go, oh, she knows something. So I don't know. I don't have so many instances that I can say, this is the way to do it. So that's what I think I personally would like to accomplish and learn, because I just got a message from my internet company. They're saying they want to go to 5G and they want to raise the price, of course. I don't want to do 5G, but I think I can opt out of that. It might be slower on my computer, but another thing is that my mom was telling me that their cell phone is going to be $10 more because of that contrived inflation that they're starting to do. So these are valid reasons for wanting to learn how to have our bills paid. If they're going to be jacking up prices because of a fake construct, then we need to learn this particular method. I got a couple of bills around here from hospitals, and they've already lowered the price just from me responding back with a letter and asking for both sides of the ledger, or what else did I ask? I can't remember. But they've already reduced it down to like, I don't know, $100 instead of 1,000 something. So
good. Well, this is my thoughts on what you're talking about, getting these bills paid. There has got to be, well, I know there is, the method of the Treasury being our overseer as we're the banker and we're running these transactions through the treasury. Does
Mm.
that make sense?
Yeah.
We've got to get established. We are not established, and we're all over the board trying to do all this stuff.
Mm.
And so I think there's different steps that people have taken, but the goal is, the one goal for every one of us is to send these transactions back and forth to the treasury. They approve it, they send it back. That's what keeps up with all the data and all of the transactions, and it keeps it fair all the way across the board. Nobody's getting robbed, nobody's getting cheated. They're getting paid, you're getting what you want, you're getting your goods. Do you see how that works? And then even the taxes, it should be okay, because if we're doing the taxes correctly, then nobody's getting hurt. Does that make sense? Everybody is getting their due.
So what I have come to realize is that they're using our names in commerce, and that there is a different type of law, or let's say a different type of game. Like, you know, when you're playing checkerboard game, and then it looks like it's the same for chess. They're playing chess, we're playing checkerboard. We don't know all those other extra rules.
Right.
So I have a feeling that because they are using our names in a commercial capacity, that those CEOs or CFOs of those corporations, they know, I don't know if it's through their accountant or a lawyer, they know how to do the paperwork to get reimbursed. Like, you know how when you go to the grocery store and you have a coupon from the newspaper, $5 off a Tide or whatever, and you give it to the store is using that little piece of paper for $5. They somehow send it in to the manufacturer, whoever, and they get their rebates. Same thing with cars, you know, stuff like that. So we do need to learn the system if we're going to be in it, or at least operate in it.
That means these steps that we have not managed to do correctly to establish and let them know where we stand and where our straw man stands, and that we are the agent for them, not them anymore. Thank you for your service, but you are no longer needed. I will be taking over this company. I can manage it. I am the age of majority. Is that any of that making sense?
I think that goes
because
along
they got
with
us all
third-party
under
creditor stuff, yeah, and the trust. So I did go
and
with.
so it just depends on where you want to go with the level of management.
I went with
for it.
a company who would help me to set up a trust in my all caps name. Unfortunately, because I did ask a tax question, that company dropped me and didn't give me any wisdom or knowledge or any information after that, which sucks. But I did have all of the UCC paperwork filed in New York. I didn't know if I was supposed to make reference to it and file it in my county. I didn't know. I still don't know. But I have a feeling that because that company went and got me the EIN number for the all caps name as a business, I did go to the Wells Fargo, which is a commercial bank. I did go and open up a trust account. Unfortunately, because I didn't have a doing business as certificate or business license, they didn't let me open it up as a business. It's still my personal account, which person is the all caps person, and the Social Security is still attached to that account. But I did add the EIN to that account. So I did go and get the ANC through Minnesota, which is the assumed name certificate. And I could show that to the bank. I don't know if that's even going to do anything. If I have to put it in the newspaper and I got to get a business license, I don't know. But I think that when we operate as a trustee, it's a business. And we have full indemnification because we got the indemnity bonds too, by the way. Plus, I also have the W-8 Ben.
That's what I think.
I have the W-8 Ben that they helped me to fill out as well, which means that, you know, you're not taxed. So it hasn't been a whole year yet that I've had this account. I had it in October, so it's coming up soon. But I haven't received anything yet that's, showing me, because it's a non-interest bearing account at the bank. So those are some of the stuff.
That just now.
And by the way, Janet Yellen did get the 56, the F-56. She got that sent to her, and Puerto Rico IRS got the F-56 that says that they're the ones that are in charge. Oh, but I don't know. I thought I was in charge. Make up your mind. So I don't know. I'm a little confused about that myself. Some people were talking about that 2848 with the power of attorney. That's different. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I think that we are doing things in a correct way, but they are blocking each time we try to do it. And then when we get the rebuttals of whatever, then we're not sure on how to go ahead and enforce another communication with them, letting them know, no, you're wrong. Show me where that is true. And so there's where we're getting hung up also. It's because we are not being able to, because we're not lawyers. We didn't study all of their tricks and all this stuff, how they have been taught a certain way. And so we don't know that. We've just started learning the correct way. And then when they don't do it, and we're like, well, why aren't you doing it right? Well, they're not going to do it right. They've never done it right. They've never done it lawful. It's always been illegally done, legally done. Do you see where we're getting hung up? And so there's where we get it up, is because we're stay on the lawful side and they're still functioning in the legal side of it.
Right.
And gives us more frustration because you're like, and how can we even expect these people to act with any kind of decency or moral ethics whatsoever? It's not in them. I mean, some of them may not even know they're doing it, but that's what they're doing.
I think even moral ethics is a sham when they teach it in school, because they try to make it sound like, oh, we're going to be nice and kind, and we're going to give them notice and this and that, but they're still hiding. It's part of like a Jesuit thing where it's military hiding behind the robes of holiness. Because even I noticed things in the church and I noticed things in schools. It's that plausible deniability. Oh, are you coming against the Lord? By, are you
because once our eyes open, babe, it's like, no, we see right through that.
Right.
It's just
right.
So it is a little frustrating to be completely wide open, wide awake about this stuff. I mean, I know that there's things that we're still missing, but to be as awake as we are in the understanding that we've already been given has been, that's been a mouthful to swallow. I don't know how you feel, but it's like, wow, I knew the truth was out there, but now, I just started getting all of this truth so fast. And you're like, well, I asked for the truth and boy, am I getting it.
Well, when you take a nap, when you're sleeping and you take a nap and you wake up suddenly and you're still groggy, you got the sleep in your eye, you're still yawning, you're still like coming to, it kind of reminds me of when Stockholm syndrome, I don't know if you've heard about that, but Stockholm syndrome, look that up. It's very interesting. And on a psychological level, it's kind of when you are still defending the ones that you were on their side, and like maybe you were defending your pastor or your president or whoever else you were thinking, was on your side. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, maybe they didn't mean that. Maybe they didn't mean that. And you try to defend them. That's Stockholm syndrome for you. A lot of the things, like people say, I have a driver's license or I pay taxes because it takes care of this and that and the roads and this and that. And that's Stockholm syndrome. They don't realize it though.
Yep.
So we do have to get
But
over
and they just they are stuck in the lie. They're stuck in the lie, girl, until they can understand how the financial system actually works. They're not going to get the great understanding of this. But when you understand how the bones were built or made underneath everything, that's when the great understanding comes, because then you can see right through it.
Right.
You know, it's like you see the back side of through the mirror.
And that's why
I started thinking, you know, well, this illusion, I've seen through the illusion. I've busted through the illusion.
I like to often go on that blueletterbible.org, and I go to the actual word and go to the back of the meaning, the ancient meaning, and I look at that. And that really helps to open up our eyes when we see that, because we're all thinking, oh, suffer means you're hurting. Well, when you go back to the definition, it means you're allowing. Oh no, what do you mean I'm allowing? I didn't mean to allow it.
Yeah.
So it does really help.
See, but there you go, honey. There's just another piece of that we're having to cancel and tell ourselves, it's like, okay, there's just another piece of that is really just like a thorn that is just stuck. And so until we get all these thorns out, you know, and just go, no, that is not correct. That is a lie. Yes. That is a lie. But
that's why we need to take a shower.
Just, you know, cutting the head off the snake.
Take a shower. After your nap, you take a shower to wake up, and you're washing of the water of the word on your mind, your soul. When you really want to come to, you'll jump in the shower. You get the water, the washing of the water of the word, to cleanse you from all the stuff, you know, that might have crawled on you while you were sleeping. Let me take a look and see here.
And that's the thing.
We have 4 minutes left. So
okay, girl.
I did still want to address the paying of the bills. I think that means something. And so I do have a bill for the hospital that I'm planning on accepting it and signing or endorsing the back of it and just sending it back to them. Don't know if they're going to know what that means, but at least I did that. And I'm going to take a picture of it, make a copy of it to prove that, hey, I did endorse that. So they obviously know some things that we don't know. I don't know where to go.
Have you watched Harvey Dent at all? Just recently?
No, but I'll look.
Quick bits that he's put on. He is talking about the coupons, and I just caught him one day, and I was like, okay, you know how you'll either click with something or you won't, and just some of his words and some of his procedures that he was doing, it clicked. So now I'm just trying to wrap my head around it, like the clarification that I was talking about last night. Go watch him a hot second, girl, because he is demonstrating for us how this should work.
Okay, I'll take a look.
And then he's got some other documents, the documents about what the definition of a coupon is, what the definition of this. So it's just getting that in our head, because that's the truth behind what we're putting out. It's like, we're not putting this out. We're just giving you what it says right here. It's written. It is written.
Right.
This is what you wrote. So we've got to have that for backup, you know?
Yeah. And that's the main thing that I was hearing with that lawyer on Ralph K's thing from Derek Gonzalez, that lawyer was saying, wherever it is written, that's where we start, because it's written down somewhere. They made it a law or whatever. That's what we can base all of our stuff on. It is written. And that's why I keep going back to the Bible and go back to the ancient Hebrew and looking up the definitions to see what that means. But yeah, it's called the law of first mention, by the way.
Because they're trying to argue with us. It's like, yeah. don't argue with me. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just showing you. I'm just bringing this to your attention. And this is what it says right here. That's not my words. That's their words. So
It's all about
you
acceptance.
can fight with them, not me.
We have woken up. We see the Stockholm syndrome. We're not going to be, fighting against you anymore. We're just going to hold you to your own laws and your own word. And it's all about accountability. So that's what we're going to go on. We're going to accept this bill, and you go ahead and deal with it and discharge it. And we have acceptance right there for your accountability.
And babe, because they are a draconian driven government that has ruled over us. And this is where the spiritual part comes in, is because we are the God sparks that are fighting against this darkness, and they represent the darkness. And so the battle is there, but we just have to let them know we will win.
And the light will
win.
come.
The light will overcome.
We have woken up. The light is here. Thank you so much for meeting with me. And
you're welcome. You're welcome. Let your light shine bright today, okay?
Let there be light.
Yes. Yes. And we'll have another